Beyond the Beyond, the Huang Yanqiu incident. What really happened? In the summer of 1977, something strange happened to a Chinese farmer named Huang Yanqiu. He was 21 years old and worked as a farmer in China's Hebei province. One night he went to bed after a long day's work, but the next day he was nowhere to be found. His fiancée, worried, alerted his family and the village that Huang had gone missing. They scoured the area, searching nearby cliffs and ponds, but it seemed as if Huang had literally just vanished into thin air. With a grade school education, Huang had never traveled far from his home. His family was confused and anxious, but after 10 days, they received a telegram that Huang was alive and well. He was in a deportation center in Shanghai, being held there until a family member or friend could come and pick him up. There was just one problem. The letter had been addressed to the wrong village and delayed. This meant that Huang was in Shanghai less than half a day after he was reported missing. The distance traveled would have been impossible to make in that short amount of time. Upon returning, Huang told his family that he had gone to bed the night before he disappeared, when he had been awoken early in the morning by a large banging sound. Suddenly, he found himself in a huge city surrounded by large buildings and speeding cars. This was Nanjing, the capital city of the Jiangsu province. Nanjing was approximately 485 miles from his village. He was approached by 2 police officers and put on a train to Shanghai, supposedly to be taken into custody and put into a repatriation camp. Upon arrival, those same 2 police officers greeted him as he exited the train. He was taken to the camp, which was a place for people without their proper papers. And though the letter was sent to the wrong village, Huang eventually made it home. Strange, right? It gets stranger. 2 months later, the same thing happened to him again. He went to sleep in the middle of harvest season, and this time woke up in Shanghai. Upon returning to his village this time, however, he was shunned. People thought that he may have been demonic and able to travel great distances quickly through some occult ritual. His fiancée sued his family for damage to her reputation and then eventually left him. The next time he went missing and returned home, his story became even more fantastical. He told an extraordinary tale of traveling to 9 major cities in just 9 days with 2 men he met, both of whom could fly. They were brothers from the Shandong province, and Huang explained that they were responsible for his previous disappearances and flew with him on their backs with no wind resistance at all. Each spot they traveled to, Huang said, the 2 men slipped into local dialects and customs like wearing old suits. They refused to tell him anything about their origins or their powers, and would not let him take photos of anywhere they traveled to. When asked why they had singled him out, they wouldn't respond. Years later, and under hypnosis, Huang began to recount even more details of these strange occurrences. Without warning, he was awakened from his hypnotic state and claimed that one of the brothers, though not present physically, had made him come out of it. To this day, the mystery of Huang Yanqiu remains unsolved. Some believe he made the whole thing up, though they have trouble explaining where he actually was during the days he vanished from the village. Others believe he was part of some secret government experiment and was being whisked away in a supersonic jet to be tested on at various military bases. But where would the jet have picked him up? And for what purpose exactly? Another theory posits that Huang was an abductee by those with otherworldly origins, and that the stories he told were merely screen memories put there by someone or something that did not want their true intentions known. Huang stated that while flying there was no wind resistance. This would imply that whatever was happening to him may not have been happening in what we know of as the physical world, or maybe like the tic-tac, triangular, or any number of other shaped UFOs, UAPs, USOs, etc. Whatever was taking place was able to defy the laws of physics to create a sort of field around itself, or themselves in this case, where certain laws don't apply. Reports state that Huang has largely withdrawn from the public eye in recent years and lives a quiet life in a small Chinese village. He gained nothing from his claims apart from some notoriety, both good and bad. His reputation was destroyed, his fiancée left him, and he was openly mocked in the streets by his peers and elders. And though his wild claims were likely driven by his own internal convictions, you have to wonder why someone would put themselves through something like that. Have you ever taken a vacation on the backs of two flying brothers? Message me at Beyond the Beyond One on Instagram.